This is D'Lo Brown. You better recognize this. The only podcast I pay attention to is the Ministry of Wrestling. Believe that.
Hey yo, how you doing? It's 2-5 for them boys, so you know what that means. It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
And as always, BigTone in the zone. We got a good one today, guys.
Yeah, look, okay, it's another episode of Superstar Spotlight. And as you can see, I'm not wearing ministry colors today. I'm wearing the Godfighter's t-shirt himself. This man, look, you'll always hear us talk about our first experience at Ignite Wrestling, our first real taste of the UK wrestling scene. This man came out as a champ, and look, we didn't decide to go in as heel fans, but there's no way you cannot like the wrestling that comes from this man. So right now, I'm about to switch the screen and bring in the one, the only, longest reigning Ignite Wrestling champ, Corey McCrae. How you doing, sir?
Yes. Now, how you doing? I am doing great, mate. Doing very good.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for having your time.
Our pleasure.
100% our pleasure. So, look, as we always ask everyone, got to ask, what was like your earliest memory of wrestling that said, you know what, this is what I want to do? Who were like some of your inspirations along the way?
Well, unlike everyone else, I'm a little different. I didn't grow up liking wrestling, really. Didn't really watch it. I used to think TNA was the only wrestling promotion way back in the day until my friend put me on to WWE. Normally it's the other way around, but that's what it is. I mean, we're talking back in the days of Curry Man, Shark Boy, like old school TNA. But that's with the little that I would flick on with the TV now and again. But for the most part, I remember on YouTube watching John Cena rap Battle of Fan and thinking that was the coolest thing ever. And then went and looked at others, his Doctor of Thugonomics sort of stick. And then that sort of caught me up to date and kept me hooked from there. But it was more of the indie scenes that really, as an older guy, not really old, I was like 18, but not as a child, actually brought me into the indie scenes and what that was with the former champ for Ignite of the one day, Harry Man Forrest Hayes. He was having a pro show, his first pro show in Harwich where we live. And as a friend, I was doing martial arts, started doing martial arts back then. And I said, I'll go watch his first pro show. It's in my town. I'll go show support as a friend. So went there. Didn't think much of it going to there. And then literally just was watching the match and I was like, I'm hooked. Whether obviously being knowing Harry and wanting to win without really understanding wrestling. I was like, I love the play on emotions, not knowing what's going to happen, the cool, obviously, the larger aspects of people throwing themselves around. And I was like, yeah, I want to give that a go. So that's my actual starting in wrestling.
I mean, like, you don't hear that. That's actually probably the first time we've heard that someone wasn't like a diehard that always wanted to do it. So, yeah. I mean, once you like seen it, once you was hooked, did you then go back and like watch like any old stuff? Any old tape, any old like, you know, shows?
Like, I would have definitely have gone back. How do I put this? Yes and no. Even for the longest time, like training for the first year and a half, I didn't miss a single training session, Sundays and Fridays. But I never actually watched any wrestling still. And that ended up playing into my favour because even the trainer and the promoter at the place that I started at was saying because you didn't grow up watching it and you wasn't heavily fixed on one character in WWE, your style is your own thing. You're not trying to replicate someone. You're not trying to be, you don't copy Shawn Michaels' moves or like copy John Cena's moves. You just do your own thing. So by not watching it, it gave me a head start in finding out who I was as a wrestler. But there would be, I couldn't even tell you right now. I mainly started watching it recently. I mean, we're talking the last 2 years. Even before then, because I don't particularly like watching wrestling. Like Prime NXT is my favourite cup of tea of professional wrestling. So it's rare that I'll actually sit down and enjoy a wrestling show. So I might more go back and watch a match more than a whole show. I can't, apart from WrestleManias that me and my friends Harry and Nick Payne and that who come round when there's a pay-per-view on, we'll watch a whole one then. But yeah, for the moment, I couldn't tell you on my own when I've sat and watched a whole pay-per-view, which could be a detriment. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. Like we finally found him, AJ, in it, like the wrestler that doesn't watch wrestling. We got the wrestling fan that don't watch wrestling now. Now we got the wrestler.
Yeah, it's just fun, isn't it? It's fun to physically do. It's fun to get out there, meet new people, see new towns and areas and countries, and put on a show. I love entertaining the crowd. Obviously, I love wrestling, but it's the entertainment aspect of it that I actually like. So when you're not doing it, you just sat there. It's just like, I want to be where they are.
Look, it makes total sense. It makes absolute total sense. But going back to that part of your training where they said it's a good thing that you aren't trying to mold your AJ Styles, your John Cena's, XYZ, Shawn Michaels, and the rest. As much as you had your start, how easy was it, for you to like build that into molding the character of Corey McCrae?
Oh, good question. As in, how did I come about building Corey McCrae, essentially?
Yeah, kind of. So like, it is a unit. I know you've got like your mixed martial arts background, but to like influence that into makers, like, don't get me wrong, you get a couple of guys who have got that as a background, but to say, right, I'm going to use that, to not use your standard, and it sounds offensive to say, but your standard go-to wrestling moves, building what you're doing, and then building that into being like, this is the character I'm going to create.
Yeah, no, for sure. So from what I can remember, there wasn't that many back when I started. This was 8-9 years ago, or whatever. It's not that long ago, but back when I started, it wasn't that cool to be the fighter, and it looked quite plain, essentially. Because I guess where some people either didn't have that background and they threw their standard kicks or whatever, there wasn't that much of it as such. Now compared to nowadays, everyone's a tough. Can you swear on it?
Don't worry, they'll get bleeped.
A tough son of a gun, and everyone wants to fight and scrap nowadays. But back when I started, there was Riddle, obviously your typical, your Brocks, your Riddles. I'm trying to like my lack of wrestling knowledge coming in here. That even on the indie scene, there wasn't that many fighters that was their thing. So I was like, there's a bit of a gap in the market there. I'll see if I can make that work.
Nice. I like that.
No, so again, like your career, man, like it's not been so long, but it's also been very stellar, man. You've had some excellent moments, man. What has been some of your favorite moments?
Definitely the first one that jumps out to me is that ladder spot in Germany with Unlimited Wrestling. Just the biggest reaction I've got from something that I've done in that aspect. And it paying off so well. That is the first one that comes to my mind. A lot of it's just the learning of it as a sport that I really enjoy. There's cool moments, of course, some that I've forgotten, some that I've got on the Instagram and that I can always look back on. But it sounds so like cliche and cringy, but the journey of the improvement in the sport, that's what I really, really enjoy the most.
No, awesome. But talking of that and talking of like your passion of entertaining the crowds, you said it a few times. You've actually gone international with it, which is something that, dare I say, you don't hear a lot of people on the indie scene have had the opportunity to do. So, I mean, you've done Germany. You said also that you're like Hungary is something you're entering in. Yeah. How did that come about? Did you approach them? Did they approach you?
So this is the thing as well. I was very, very fortunate. I mean, I got a broad booking before I got an actual pro out of town booking, which you definitely don't hear rarely these days. But that was because so back when I very, very first started, and I got my first custom pair of gear. It was imagine like what Matt Riddle wears, some trunks like that, and it was the Irish flag. Now I done it because my former MMA and striking coach used to wear that for his fights. So I was like, cool little homage. Thanks for teaching us. Now I've gone to wrestling. But I didn't think about the lion tattoo on the stomach, the ginger, and back then when I had a hairline, I looked a bit more like McGregor. and that obviously stuck for a while. And then a promotion in Ireland that do like a camp show tours all around Ireland wanted to use me for a McGregor character. So I ended up getting that for, I think I was out there for about 2 weeks, I think, and done a tour. So that was my first international out of England booking. And then there was a guy, I forgot his name now, Bruce and the Brothers Orr. They used to come down to our shows. That there was a pro show that used to run down here. I don't want to give them any names for credit because that sort of went downhill. But yeah, I met Bruce a few times. We wrestled each other a few times, built a good connection and a friendship. And he was wrestling over at GWF in Germany, and he had gained an injury and couldn't make one of their shows. So they said, "Have you got anyone that you can replace you that you think is worth replacing?" So he kindly put me forward to them as his substitute, and that got me my first booking in Germany, and that was with GWF, who are a big German company. If you go, it then carries on to I met Icarus and his good friend, who are now the promotion owners of Passion Pro in Hungary. And they, back at GWF, we were talking, they saying how they were going to start their own promotion in their country. And I said, I'd love to obviously come and give it a go. And we kept our words and went over there 3-4 times. I need to message him again to see about going back over there because I haven't seen him for a while. But that then led to a booking over in Hungary. So it all weirdly trickles itself. And there was a fan at GWF show who was a promoter now in Austria. Years later, we took like 4 or 5 years. This was before COVID over at GWF, so 5 years before, and then dropped me a message saying that he wants to use us. So that got me a booking in Austria, and then Barcelona, Spain and Barcelona one I got just by messaging them. But yeah, so there's Germany and Austria, Germany, Austria, and Passion Pro in Hungary that are all snowball trickle effects. So I was very fortunate to know the right people at the right time.
Yeah, well, that sounds excellent, man. Like I said, we don't see many people in the British indie scene like go international so soon. I mean, have you found there been much of a difference to like being in the ring over here as opposed to over there?
The Germany fans are very passionate. So they're much louder. It could just be I'm very lucky with the places that I work, but they are just always loud, always whatever story you give them, they'll lead it up. They're there, they're involved. They've got their favourites, they've got their favourite heels, and they just run with it. They're very, very passionate, which is always nice to be a part of. The Hungary fans, passion, they're a bit more Japan style. They're very observant. They like to watch and study what you do and obviously applaud the good stuff. So there's a bit of that in aspects. And Spain, they just absolutely love anything fast. They enjoy wrestling quite a lot. Yeah, they've all got their own little twerks and perks. So it's very interesting to learn and pick up different ways of wrestling almost to fit in with the crowd's style of liking wrestling.
I was just about to touch on that. I was going to say, like, the crowd reaction is one thing, but have you found like to tailor it that I don't want to like reveal the curtain too much, but like calling spots, is there like different ways of communicating with the different wrestlers in order to build and rotate, like create the match?
In a way, do you mean communicate with them isn't actually planning the spots, or do you mean like
planning the spots? Yeah, I remember, like, again, because I know that, again, not been in the ring, I can't say it as well as you probably would be able to do it, but like I've heard, again, I know that the fans are quite receptive, but for instance, I know a lot of people who have wrestled and then they say they go to Japan to like craft their skills a lot more and get a different style of wrestling. Is that like in the different countries within Europe? Is that also kind of the case that you've picked up a few different skills from the different countries?
I would say not necessarily match structure. If you've got a good match structure, that's fine. It's more of what I would do. This, and this finishes with this. That final this could be something completely different to get a better reaction in a different country, if that makes sense. place in Germany, they might like a big power bomb, but in Spain, it could be a cool head scissors, things like that. Just implementing everyone's styles into the structure that you have is more of the way. So yeah, but Japan, that would be the dream. One day.
Awesome. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there. The
Yeah,
talent.
we definitely see it coming.
I hope so. I bloody hope so.
Yeah. Now, but like, I want to actually take it back a bit then, like, to your come up. Yeah. What was your first match like, and the first time actually stepping in the ring and doing it for real? What was that like for you?
Cool. So I can give you the first time like at a trainee show, like my very, very first match, and then I can give you like the first pro match that I was like, oh god,
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Right. So first training show, we done it. For me, it was a bit of a what's his name, Santino Marella, sort of from the crowd, sort of a thing. Obviously, I've been training a while, wanted to get me on a show, so we done a rumble, and me and my friends would sit front row. And then the bad heel or whatever would come out during that rumble. No, he'd come out in his match earlier on, and during his entrance for that match would then give me some stick, and I would give it back. And I was like, "Oh, fan interaction." And then later on that show, the rumble would happen, and then it was him, and then the next number was me, and I'd come out through the crowd. And attacked him. That was very exciting, adrenaline filled, because I was like, my moment, this is my moment. And then literally like the show after that, the next month, was me versus him on a one-on-one. And backstage in Gorilla, when my music started to play, I was petrified, like the most scared I've ever been. I was standing there talking to myself like, why am I doing this? Why have I done this? Why have I done this? I don't want to do it. I want to go home. Why am I here? Why am I here? And then the typical thing of you go through the curtains and it's all fine, and learning to manage with that nervousness. So that was the first like training show. And then first.
How many people were at that show?
What's that? Oh, so this was a summer camp show at a caravan camp.
Yeah.
They had 120 people in attendance, 100 in that attendance, because it's on. Yeah. Because it was a big sort of caravan camp down there, so they would have 100 odd people down for the summer. So you always had good crowds to train with, and then with Speedball Mike Bailey, I might have been 8 pro matches in at that point. 8-10 pro matches in, trying to plan a match with someone of that caliber at such a young age, young experience, was petrifying. I've got a horrible memory anyway, and then trying to remember that whole match. Duck this, take this, feed for this, I'll give you this, duck this, come back with this. I'm like, okay. So yeah. And that was another experience. But then during the match, everything, that was my first eye-opener to how good a match structure could and should be, that everything flows into the next thing. It's not like, oh God, what's next? It's like, well, it makes sense that this would happen. Oh, it is something of that nature. So that was something I took from that match. Not only about hitting your opponents quite hard when you've got kick pads on, because they'll be all right. Because I got my ass whooped. So that, and then structure. That was literally from that point on. It was match. Everyone's trying out moves, but I was just trying structure. Because it would be something cool, great reaction, build, great reaction, build, and you just constantly climbing. And it just, even during a match, even as little experience I had, I still understood and could feel what this match was creating, because I did have an advantage of where we did our shows. All the other trainees would stand on the balcony and watch, so they're getting to watch Speedball Mike Bailey, so they're gassed anyway, and then they get to watch me get my ass whooped, which makes them more gassed. So anything, we did get I got a bit of a leeway in that aspect, that we could have done really much anything and we'd have got a good reaction. But you could just, during that match, you could hear everyone on the balcony and all the fans clapping and popping. yeah, so it was a surreal eye opener, and I'm still chasing that great of a match structure. We're getting there, but it's still to this day can't replicate it as good as Speedball put that match together.
Nice. That's interesting, and I mean, he's doing big stuff at the moment. So you've been in there with one of the best there, absolutely one of the best. But that's not the only greats that we can mention. We've got Knights of Robbie X, Shigehiro Irie, Flash Morgan Webster. Like, these are some great names. What is it like when a promoter calls you and says, "By the way, this is who you're taking on"? What is that experience like with knowing that these guys have got such legacy?
I love it, absolutely love it. Like, I don't feel it sounds so like. How do you work? I don't know how. It sounds such a, without swearing. Sounds so bad, but like I don't feel pressure. It's not like, oh my god, no, against him. I'm not ready. Like I'm like, great, here we go. A learning experience. I've been thrown in the deep end from the get go with Speedball and that sort of. Speedball, Cara Noir, James Storm, like these. Chris Ridgway. Like early on, I've always been thrown in with big names, so. I never saw them as a holy cow moment. They were like, oh, great, here we go. We get to level up. Every single one of those matches, I get to pick the brains, learn something. So I always get very, very excited because I know, especially nowadays, I know I can hang with anyone. I don't care. I can hang with anyone. I've got the movesets and the style to how I can do it. Again, with training, with not watching any wrestling, people are, I want to focus on this style. I want to do tech. I want to do high flying. I did a bit of everything so I could fit in everywhere. Your technical, your high flying, your strong style, all the other ones, can't remember them off the top of my head. I did everything. So with all these big matches, I know that I can hang and do whatever they want. So there's nothing but excitement. And then obviously you get to meet some cool people. I mean, with the Flash Morgan Webster, look at the gear that I was wrestling in and before that match, and then look at the gear that I'm wrestling now. He gave me some very good advice because I was going to get tights, and he said, "Why you're a fighter? Why would you wear tights?" People, here goes a little bit of knowledge to give on any wrestlers that are watching. When you do your entrance, the crowd are going to look at you and make their just mind up on what you are as a wrestler from the get go. So wear what you want them to be, what you want them to think you are, and that's why I then went from your wide front trunks to Muay Thai shorts. But very clear from the get go. I'm a fighter. They know they can get behind it. So from that match, in a ladder match, I got a whole new gear, and my gear leveled up from that match. So I've never wrestled a great name and got bad out of it. It's a long-winded answer.
No, it's a perfect answer. It's insightful. That's what I love about like Beyond the Ring. It's literally it's Superstar Spotlight gives people that chance to understand the psychology of how a character's built, what it's all about, and just hearing those little bits, it all makes sense. You know, you watch it every day. You don't stop to think, that's it. And it's true. Like me seeing you coming out on your entrance, I was like. Straight away, everyone's like, right, is he a street fighter? I'm like, look, I don't know. It's the first time seeing him. I assume so. Yeah, no, it works 100%.
Well, that's exactly that. With the instantly, like, is that street fighter? Man, if I'd come out in acrylic tights and you'd think, okay, Osprey style with the Flash, and then all of a sudden I'm doing a bunch of fighting stuff. You're like, hold on a minute, that doesn't really. And then now I'm already on a back foot trying to catch you lot up, when really I could, instead of starting at your middle. You're starting from down here because you're like, that doesn't really make sense. Now with the gear, and from instead of here, I've got a head start. So anything above is great. So it's just little things like that people, I'd never thought. I was like, gear's gear, innit? Like, you just wear what you want to wear. But no, there's actually a reason you wear the gear, which now that I know makes obvious sense, of course. But it's so, I can't tell you enough as a wrestler how many times you get given a bit of advice. And you just go, obviously, of course, like, obviously you would, but you just don't see it if you don't get told it. So it gets me so excited, and like now all fired up. How many things there are out there that I just don't know yet. So yeah, it gets me very excited.
No, of course, man. You don't know until you know, do you? So
you don't know until you know.
I like that one.
Exactly. But like again, you sound like you got the wrestling died down and you've had it since day one. But then obviously there's two sides of being a professional wrestler: your in-ring ability and obviously your character. So tell us about the formation of the character that is Corey McCrae.
Can you say that one more time? I want to think about that. Give me that question again.
Like basically, obviously, like you're the fighter, you got your fighting skills and everything. Yeah, we know that's a big aspect of your character. But then there's your in-ring personality, like how you come out and say things, the dastardly stuff that you're gonna do. How did you come up with that?
Having to prove a point. Yeah, no, definitely having to prove a point of why I deserve to be there. Like, I love being a heel because in my egotistical side, like wrestling is everyone's wrestling characters themselves 10 times enhanced. I believe I'm better than everyone because I put more work in than everyone. And some people like that and some people don't. And if you don't, then tough. Like, what are you going to do, fight me? No. So get your ass whipped. So that's what the mentality of it as a personal character. Like, having people not wanting to watch me, but I'm so good that you have to watch me. And that comes from my family not really watching me. Like, you see all these people that are, mum and dad used to come watch all my beginner shows and they'd record the matches for me and all that. But my parents come to one and was like, nah, that's pillow fighting. So they never come watch me. So like, you know what? I'm going to keep going and I'm going to show you how great and achieve so much. Yeah, like, I was not going to really do anything. You just wrestle at a camp show. But now I'm like, look at all these countries that I've been to and wrestled. Look at all these names. Look at the amount of people that watch me. So it's just having that point to prove I know how great I am. Now I've got to make you all see it. So I'm getting in there now. Like, just that question gets me fired up. Puts me into that mindset. And it's still to this day back like, oh, screw it. Here we go. I know I'm progress and Rev Pro already. I know I am, and the fact I'm not there annoys the hell out of me. So I've got to work. But some people give up and they go, "Oh, well, this is not meant to be." Like, that's just not me. I don't have that mindset of quitting. Like, okay, you don't want to use me. Well, I'm going to get so good that you get told you're stupid for not using me. So that's where I channel to for my character's actual mindset and personality. And then obviously being so good. Everyone knows I'm a bad guy, but I'm that good. Even being that good at a bad guy, you don't have to like me, but you can respect my wrestling ability. So even when everyone boos me, but everyone after the shows come on, be like, "Oh, that was great," and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Thank you. Point proven." So there you go.
Do you know what? You saying that you're rev ready, progress ready, it's actually something that CJ said in the interview when we were talking about some of the stars. And when your name came up, he's like, he's ready for the pro, like for the mainstream. Like nothing but praise came your way. And talking of that, he put the strap on you. He made you the world's heavyweight champion for Ignite Wrestling for, I believe, 434 days. I believe the longest reigning champ.
It was a month and a year and 4 months. So whatever that equates to.
Yeah.
So long time.
Double-barreled question. How did it feel to be given a championship? And how did it feel to be like trusted to be that, like, dare I say it, like Roman Reigns level, this undefeated character for so long? What was that feeling like?
I know I'm great, but there's still a little.
Hey, listen. Once it goes over 2 months, it's something to be recognised. People start clocking it. You passed the year.
No, no, it was good. It's a mixture of excitement and, again, like what I've just gone off of. Like, I know I'm championship level. So when he said, "I want to put the belt on you," I was like, "Cool, I will do the job that's needed." Some people get that and be like, "Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, I don't know. Should have like, cool. Give me the strap. There we go." And if anything, it enhances my character. We can both build off of this. We can both win off of this. So when he said that he was going to put the belt on me, again, I'm not in it for the belts and the names and that. I'm in it for the fun and the learning. So whether he'd given me that belt for a month or a half a year or the whole length that he did, I'd have respected it and treated it with as much professionalism as the matter of the length. So he said he'd give me that belt. I was like, fantastic, we have a job to do. What is that job? What do you want from this title reign? He told me what he wanted, and I delivered with it. So then when it come, and I could have had the belt for longer. I was meant to drop it to Gene Money, but then he couldn't then make the next show. So he'd already said that if he loses, he won't come back, and I got his title. So we couldn't put the belt on me. We couldn't have me retain, but he couldn't also retain because he couldn't make the next show. So we were sort of stuck in a situation. So I could still be the champ now. Who knows?
I'm sure you'll have another run of it, but
yes,
let's talk a bit more.
I will.
Yeah, trust me, I'm a believer, man. But let's talk a bit more about your relationship with Ignite. How did that come about in the first place?
Well, back at the pro show that can't be named, where me and Forrest Harry work. Me and Harry worked together. Back when CJ was still wrestling, me and Harry worked together. We'd done a match, and it was a great match. And we come backstage, and CJ, who I only knew at the time as a wrestler, was just like, "Oh, loved that match. That was really good. Thought you two worked really, really well together." And obviously, just being respectful and polite and kind guy that I am, I just thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any feedbacks? I'm glad you liked it. That's awesome. Shook hands. Boom, boom, boom. CJ carried on, and then Harry was like, "You know who that is, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, CJ." He goes, "Yeah, but him and Gene run Clash." And this was before I was like really getting any outside bookings, and I was like, "What? Here's a foot in the door sort of thing." So I then spoke to him about Clash. That never come about just because they'd already booked shows and they had their people in, which is fair enough. That then obviously came to a close, and CJ then opened up Ignite, and then Harry was booked to fight Warren Banks. Harry was to retain the title, and then I think it was from that match I then got to sort of step in and gun for the title from there. Really, it was like a selection of, I can't remember what he calls the match now, but a progression cup of sort.
Oh, is it the breakout?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, I'd done that. I think so. Anyway, won that. And then sort of progressed up into champion. Yeah.
And I mean, look, it worked. It's gone there, and it had that run, and you went against all these different people, but as well as that, it caught the attention of Hitting the Turnbuckle, who I know were your sponsors for a year. How did that come about, and what was that like for them approaching you? What was the relationship with them like?
That was good. They're all great. Yeah, great people. Good fun, good laughs, nice, very kind-hearted. You can tell when you talk to them that they're genuine. They love the business and they just want to be around it. They were at the shows. We had a laugh. We filmed some promos, and then come to some sponsorship talks, and we cracked a little deal.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll get that deal back going sometime next year.
Look, I wouldn't blame them. Like the talent that's there. Again, one of the things, as I said, the only regret I've got about finding Ignite was seeing you. The day we came was the day you dropped the belt, because the story. Yeah. I'm not saying we're bad luck, but the story that we had going into it was just like awesome, absolute awesome storytelling.
Yeah, it was so good. It was a lot of fun. Getting to wrestle Gene twice was very cool. Another level is creative mind, and obviously he's a very funny guy. So it was a real test, and definitely one that I failed both matches of trying to keep a straight face and not laugh with some of his antics. He's just a naturally very funny and kind guy. With a very, very good memory that I just couldn't keep up with. But by the time we went out there, I knew what I was doing. So we always get it done in the end. But yeah, it's a shame that was the one that you come to. Did you by any chance see the triple threat with Tommy and Aluna?
Yes, I did. So I don't want you to think that you're bad luck.
Yeah, of course he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And your antics with the coffee.
Yeah. I don't know if it was that or the last Gene Money one. Yeah. I'm still not over that triple threat. So we're all three of us are so happy with it. So,
that was excellent, man. And again, like you said, man, all three of you just operating on a totally different level, man. It was one of my best indie matches I've seen live, to be honest, man. And you cracked me up. You absolutely cracked me up with the whole coffee antics.
Yeah. I knew it because that's what I mean. The story, like I learned that from Josh Alexander over at Unlimited Wrestling because I had to wrestle a female and we didn't get the structure right. So I sat down with Haskins, Matt Siddell, and Josh Alexander, and I said to him, like, in that situation, what would you guys do? All three of them. I'm like, imagine those three names, and I'm sat there like a kid with notes in my head, going, okay, and just took all of it in, and then literally a couple shows later, we had that triple threat, and I was like, I've got a match structure. And then we sort of, obviously it was a singles match structure, but we sort of implemented it into the triple threat, and the instant thing of go make me a coffee, and then it backfires on me. She sacks me off. Go make your own damn coffee. Way big reaction. From there, it's a great match. So again, it's just a loop to what we were talking about earlier. Everything is just leveling up, taking bits from one place, putting it in there. You learn from that, and then you can add to that. So it's all a big pot of potions, really.
The names that keep listed off of you are just like, don't get me wrong, every person we come across, anyone who steps in the ring, I've got maximum respect for, because one of our guys, Den, has actually taken a bump in the ring and was like, that's what he wants all of us to do. And he's like, it's not fun. It's one of the most painful things you can do. So it's always going to, people see me and they're like, you go to this show, that show. Do you ever want to get in the ring? I'm like, no, not a chance. I don't think I could do it. But like hearing these names, like these legacy names, the ones that are like globally known for better or worse terms, it's so impressive to hear that you've been in contact with them. And like I've heard like the in terms of the gimmick and the ring attire. What would be another one of those like hidden gems that seems so obvious that was given to you from anyone in the journey that you've like really sticks with you to this day?
The first one you get drilled with, just as a little one there, is everyone as far as I'm aware, everyone gets told this. If you think you're going slow, go slower, and you'll see that in anyone that you watch that is brand new, because of the nerves and excitement and unexperienced. They do everything's really, really fast. They've just got next thing. So then you get taught to sort of slow down, and then you think you're going slow, but it's still not. It doesn't portray that slow. So if you think you're going slow, go even slower. Is the first one that got. And you asked that question. That was what got drilled into my head. But trying to think of other little feedbacks like that. My mind's gone blank. What other little feedback? Breathing is my biggest thing. Is control your breathing. Don't think about the match. Think of your breathing constantly. And that's people get gassed out because again they're thinking of what's next. They're thinking about what they've got to do, and they're not breathing properly. And that's when you see them start getting gassed out and tired. So that's my biggest thing: is just watch and control your breathing.
Yeah,
but just on the list of names there, I just pulled up on my CV. Here's the names for you: Shigehiro Iri, Robbie X, obviously the likes of Joe Lando, Danny Blackett, close personal friends, James Storm, Martin Kirby, Cara Noir, ELP, Angelico, Kip Sabian, Adam Maxton, Brian Pillman Jr., Speedball, Mike Bailey, Senza Volta, Chris Ridgway, Sean Customs, and Jody Fleisch, just to name a few.
Jody Fleisch. Oh, mate, I have to admit, Jody Fleisch, it was him and there's one other guy. When the Wrestling Channel first came out, and I saw what they can do, Jody and it's a sin to forget that other guy. They literally had the biggest feud in UK wrestling that I know of at the time. I know you say it's not one of those, but like, is there any advice you could say you got from Jody? Because that's like a British legend to me. But
I could. That was so many. We're talking 6 odd years ago. I wish I had something for you there, but I generally couldn't remember. I couldn't tell you anything in that match other than as the first one and only time I've taken a Poison Rana. If I was going to take off of anyone, I was like, I trust Jody Fleisch. So that was when he told me that spot, I was like, okay, sure.
That's a hell of a resume, man. Honestly, that's a hell of a resume. Is there anyone in particular that you enjoyed working with?
Oh, Joe and Danny Black, they're a great laugh. the match, our styles fit perfectly. So we create some great stuff. Love working with them. Cara Noir, incredibly nice guy. ELP, what's his name? Angelico, and is it El Fantasma? No, not El Fantasma, is it?
Yeah,
What's his
it's
name?
El Fantasma.
El Fantasma, yeah. Hilarious. Absolutely nutcase of a guy. Senza again, nice. Yeah, everyone's just bloody lovely. The bigger the name, the nicer they are, I think.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's good to know the industry's got that behind the curtain.
Yeah. I've generally never come up. Is that right? Maybe I'm just for safety, just out of possibility of probability, there might be one overfilled egotistical person that I've ever wrestled, but I could not give you the name right now. But I'm sure that there's got to be one. Yeah, everyone's just lovely. But I guess it's pro wrestling, and everyone's got to be nice.
No, but that's good that you don't really keep it with you. You know, you just move on, brush it off so much. You know, you don't even notice it happen. I mean, obviously, you're a very hard worker and you work hard. You're always in ring shape. So give us a bit about that. Like, what is your regimen? Yeah, for like staying in ring shape.
Sweet. So I haven't lifted a dumbbell in about a year and a half. But it's all MMA training. Mondays. Well, I've switched. I used to do MMA as a class, and that was jiu-jitsu on the Monday, kickboxing on Tuesday, MMA, hour with amateurs, and then an hour of training with pros, people in like the Bellators, Cage Warriors, the UFC guy, what's his name? Arnold Allen in the UFC, he trains there. So get taught by him. And then Thursday's break, and then Friday spar, Saturday spar. But now I do Muay Thai. I just focus on stand-up as is what I enjoy the most. So it's Mondays Muay Thai, Tuesdays kickboxing, Wednesday is Muay Thai, Thursday break, Friday spar, and you just fight. It's about 50. You're doing about a half an hour warm up, followed by about an hour and a half of just rounds of sparring everyone. So if there's 10 people there, everyone will fight everyone for a round and maybe like twice over. And then obviously Saturdays you can spar, but for the most part I'll either be wrestling or doing meal prep or shoot life. Just non-stop really.
Wow, I respect the hell out of that. Nico, who wanted to join us but couldn't, another member of the team, he's actually won like some championships in Muay Thai back in Thailand.
Is it?
Lived out there, and the first thing, it makes so much sense how much Muay Thai you do, because the minute like the first match that we saw you, and he's got Muay Thai training. So he's going to be so happy. He's going to be over the moon to know. I didn't underestimate him in knowing his stuff, but yeah.
Tell him he's spot on. Absolutely spot on.
That. But in terms of those mixed martial arts, did you was there a passion for that? Which one? Like, I can see you've done multiple. How did you come about like picking those up? Like, was there always a passion for Muay Thai? Was this like what was the first one you picked up in terms of your different martial arts that you do?
Kickboxing was the first class I went to, and that was just because all throughout high school I just got relentlessly bullied, and was just a little wimp who never defended himself. So that was the first thing of like, I'm changing that. When you get older, you've got to change and improve and overcome. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to fight, and then no one can bully me ever again. So yeah, kickboxing, started that at 17, 18. Started doing classes there, and then obviously in and around the sport, you started to watch people do jiu-jitsu and submissions, and then you just pick up things just from, because everyone thinks they know the rear naked choke and all that sort of stuff. So you give them a go, and then you realise how useless and much of a toy you are to people that know jiu-jitsu. Like even a blue belt, so white, blue, and a bunch of other colours I can't remember off the top of my head. Even a blue belt, if you've never trained jiu-jitsu before, it will be like a cat drowning in water. You are helpless. I mean, I barely scraped a blue belt just because I never really focused on belts, but I trained the basics and could just keep me iron, keep me sword sharp as such. But I would roll with our coach, who's obviously a black belt, and it is like being a child. I am full like trying everything, making sure we can't really set any trap. Like obviously he's got so many set up that he can deploy, and he's just there looking around, watching the class, making sure everyone else is all right while just manoeuvring me around. Body mechanics and weights just topple me over when he needs to have a further look down the class, and I'm just like, if my life depended on it, I could not survive. And it is, but it's very good for your mindset to know that that's what you can do to someone. So even as myself as a very beginner blue belt, if you haven't got any jiu-jitsu experience, I'll make you look like a novice. So that's a small level compared to the black belt, brown belt, purple belt. Oh, it's a whole different ball game. But that takes so much commitment, so much time. From a white belt to a black belt, you're talking 10 to 15 years of training near enough multiple times a week, every week without missing a session, and then doing competitions on the side to learn. So that's a whole world of dedication in itself. But yeah, so mainly striking, and then jiu-jitsu just to, if a fight on a street ends up on the ground 90% of the time, just having the basic understanding as to how to put a jacket around someone's neck and just defend yourself. And then obviously there's the MMA classes that you implement them both together, with takedowns of actual shoot wrestling, and learning body mechanics in that. And I was like, let's give it all a go. Why not? The same with the wrestling, same with professional wrestling. Learn it all so you can do it all. It was the same with martial arts. Do a bit of everything and you'll know a bit of everything.
Did you find the transition behind the two like hard?
No, easy. It's so funny. I get that question, and and it helped me out. When I first started with professional wrestling, it helped me stay apart from everyone leaps and bounds, purely because of like just footwork alone. Because in obviously kickboxing or in a cage, you want to stay center of the ring. You don't really want your back up against the ropes. You don't want to be in the corner, so you're constantly on your feet. You're learning where the ring is and where not to be, trying to pivot away from it. And you obviously have your feet set in a correct stance to one, block kicks, and two, have a solid balance and form in your stance so you don't get knocked over or tripped. So I had all of that for years drilled into me anyway. And then when you get in a wrestling ring, you see people doing stuff and they fall over and they get tangled in the ropes, or they get stuck in the corner and they can't really do anything. But I had all of that ironed out already. So I knew during chain you could move around, making sure that you see like people, beginners, they stumble over their own feet, and I didn't have to worry about any of that. Running ropes, like some obviously people are different in different rings, people are different heights. I knew like I'm on 3 steps, pivot, turn, hit the ropes, 3 steps, pivot, turn. Like I had all of that completely fine. People that take months to learn the ropes properly, but I had it within like 2 sessions just because I had footwork. So implementing that from fighting over to pro wrestling, huge advantage. And then you've got cardio, because obviously a lot of people don't realize how much cardio is in pro wrestling, because you're constantly shouting, you're constantly screaming, talking to the crowd, you're talking to the ref, you talk to the wrestler, like giving them something and talking about what's next, and you just get run out of breath. With fighting, obviously cardio is your number one friend in fighting, and you learn how to breathe. So you constantly, as you're doing stuff, I'm making them say, and at training, obviously everyone would sit around the ring and watch you do your thing, and everyone would just take the piss at me, because that's everything I was doing, going, they're like, oh, you're a snake. But obviously I was having a laugh in that, but yeah, that, because I was doing it, but it helped me with my breathing, so I could, even at a very beginning stage, could outlast some of the new people. So yeah, it was a very good thing, an easy transition, because I had some fundamentals built in already.
That is fantastic. That is an amazing journey. It really captivated me there. That's really interesting to learn. In terms of like the athletic ability, because you talked about like the infamous ladder spot.
Yeah,
I've seen you do a couple of flips and stuff like that. Was there an athletic background prior to this, or did you learn all of that in the wrestling ring?
Trampolines and a Hail Mary of just send it. Used to, obviously on the trampolines doing front flips, that's like 101. You get on the trampoline, you learn how to do a front flip. So I always know how to do a front flip, and then you build up the progression to do a back flip, but that would just be land to my stomach, and then you just implement that. So I always had that like I do the cartwheel. Everyone should know how to cartwheel. Do a cartwheel. Trying to think of the other flips. Yeah, over the year of so many years of doing it, you sort of have a physical understanding of the mechanics of it. So then to be able to do it in a wrestling ring off a higher platform like the ropes, it would a bit of both in the sense of in the wrestling ring, training ring, we'd have crash mats, and everything I've ever always done is in implements. So like, what sort of a move? If I was to do a standing suplex, like I've got a new finisher, like standing suplex into a cutter. And it would always, it would be sort of, so it would be, right, first step, can I hold you in a stool and suplex? Cool, we've got that. Okay, next, stool and suplex, and I'll bring my arm around, and then I'll put you back on your feet. Okay, I've got that. Right, are you ready? We'll go for it. Cool. Up, round, done. So it's not like, let's just fucking try. Oh, it didn't work. No, everything has been in increments. So for the moonsault, it would be, I'd have the crash mat, I'd stand in the corner, and I'd get practice jumping onto that middle rope. Okay, now that feels comfortable. I'll then just jump backwards and back bump. And then I get the mechanics of the jump and the lift off until I got comfortable. Okay, and now I'll try and land, I'll rotate onto my stomach. So do all three, jump on the ropes, jump, turn, land on my stomach. Okay, I've got that down to a T. Now all I've got to do is tuck my knees, boom, 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 tuck my knees and land on my feet. So everything's just it doesn't seem so scary then, because instead of one big task, you're just doing a bunch of little tasks. That's the same with life. If anyone is ever little side path, if anyone's ever struggling, that even if they think, I've got to go to work, just get out of bed, just make your bed, and then go have breakfast, and then go have a shower, and then the next thing you know, you might have your shoes on and you're out the door. Don't think I've got to do all of this and get to work. Just do the first thing. Do it in little increments. So sorry, a little tangent there, but
no. That's psychology 101, task-centered practice. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's very interesting to see you employ that in the ring.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Everything is everything. One is other people's safety as well. If you're working with someone, you don't want to just hope that it goes right and you end up risking hurting them. At least have them understand that we're getting to this point, and then we can, once we're comfortable with the mechanics, we can fully send it, and that way we maximise everyone's safety. So that's how I got into the flips. It would be the moonsault again. Don't be sharp or whatever, but. The old Alistair Black moonsault off the middle ropes. It was the run and jump and then holding the ropes. Because obviously, if you jump on ropes, you can do this. So it's learning the tightness of the core, the balance, how far you putting your feet open, how wide you open your feet, and then springing back and landing on your feet. Just jumping back, landing on your feet, and then you go for the moonsault. You land on your stomach. You moonsault, land on your stomach, and then you go all the way over onto your feet. So the athleticism was had the trampoline as a kid, and then structural support, put them together. Bosh.
Love it. The insight is insane. I'm loving it, man.
No, it's
step by step. That's step by step.
Everything you do in life, pre-preparation prevents piss poor performance.
My economics teacher taught me that one, and I love it. It's something. It always stuck with me. Yeah, get all your P's in order. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but you know, like I know earlier you said you're not really about the championships and everything, but surely it must feel good, like when promoters like trust you to be the flag bearer of their company.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. The opportunity is better than the belt, if that makes sense. Knowing that they trust you that much to do such a huge job is very fulfilling and rewarding. But yeah, to sit like if I had 10 belts strung up the wall there, like they're just pro wrestling's pro wrestling. I didn't really win them. Someone picked me to win them, and then someone else kindly stayed down long enough for me to win them. So they're not like martial arts belts where someone's going to kill you and you've got to kill them before they kill you to win it. They're slightly different. So I don't care about decoration pieces. I care about the respect and, like I say, the opportunity to prove a point and deliver such a big story, make it feel something, make it worth something.
Okay.
Awesome.
So like obviously like you had the long reign in the night, and it didn't bother you at all about the 1 day reign in the Ultimate Championship.
No, it's funny. Like, it's great. No, the fact that they gave that to me for a day, perfect. That's great, fantastic. I appreciate that 1 day reign as a German champion as much as I do the 1 year and 4 months with Ignite. It's just someone's gone, you're good enough to be our champion, and that means the world.
And that's how I see it. It's like not like again actual accomplishments as if you're beating someone. It's more like an award to say you are the one.
Yeah, definitely. Like all that hard work that you put in, we believe in you as much as you believe in you. And again, like it's that I told you, I proved I could be that guy. So it's more of a recollection? Is that the word? People seeing what you've seen the whole time.
Recognition.
Yeah.
Recognition, yeah.
So we've seen the in-ring character, the wrestler, the champion, the mixed martial artist. Yeah. But there's more to Corey McCrae because JPW, the promoter, JPW, the promoter. How did that come about? How did you decide to get into like the world of promoting wrestling?
So me and how many others? Six others. We were at our previous training school that won't be named, and we were like, we really want to learn every aspect of wrestling. We got the physical side, now let's learn the business side. So we asked them, could we just run one show at this training school? So it's not like starting our own thing. Can we just run a whole show? And they said no, and we were like, well, okay, then that leaves us no other choice. We then all left that place to do our own separate journey. And we thought that we're very obviously new school minded, that the more wrestling in a town, the better. There's more places for people to work. There's more places for people to watch wrestling, different styles. So we thought this would be a great idea. And to be fair, we thought we'd only do a couple shows that was literally going to be us 7 in a camp show style, or maybe we'd get one name in, get a paid person in, and we'd all wrestle each other, we'd run our own show, learn that side of the business, and be like, sweet, thank you very much, done. But we started that company, we started JPW, and then one show happened and it went really well. Second show started and it went really well. And we're like, you know what, this is actually, the first show, we had to put some money in, but then going forward, every show just paid for itself. So we're like, why stop? Now, the other training school obviously didn't like that too much because they thought that we were taking business away from them. So they'd done the old school mentality of trying to take posters down, book shows the exact same day as us and the exact same time. And then when that didn't work, they thought they'll put academy shows on at the exact same time for free. So you could go watch their show for free instead of coming to watch our paid show. Just little sly things like that, childish things like that. And that never turned us off, never pushed us away. We kept going, and we learned as we went, and we just carried on, and we're still going to this day 2 years later.
Congratulations, love that.
Thank you, bro.
It's highly impressive, man. Highly impressive.
Thank you. It's cool because we, again, like if there's people that we, particularly like me, for Harry and that want to wrestle, that we don't get the chance to on the indie scene, we can just say, hey, do you fancy coming down? And even if it's just a personal match, like just one to tick off, like with that triple threat with me, Tommy and Aluna. Me and Tommy have wrestled each other. I was like, hell yeah, that'd be cool for me and Aluna. We'll have a one-on-one. And I've now got a place that we can do that. So now it'll be me and Aluna at the next JPW show. So just getting opportunities like that, it's all so worth it. So come down if you want to see another banger. Come to JPW in Harwich and watch.
Yo, let's make it work, man.
No, we're gonna make it happen. For sure.
Yeah. So, like, again, it seems like even just at the level that you're at, you've done it all, really, as what a pro wrestler would want to do.
Sure.
Yeah. But obviously, that is not enough for you. You're not Mr. Complacent, I can tell.
Absolutely not.
So, what is next, man? What are the goals? Yeah. What are you going to do?
We've got obviously the progress and the Rev Pros. It's got to be done one day. I don't care if I'm 40 years old, I will not stop until I get there. That, Japan, America, Italy, and TNT. I've just always loved TNT. Their style of shows, I think, would suit me so well. So there's a few promotions that I want to work. Names on the scene. I'll wrestle anyone. It's good fun. That's about it. It's not a lot. I've won the top. Like I've won a couple of titles. A title's a title. I've won the title abroad. I've wrestled abroad. I've wrestled some cool names. Now it is just the big goals. Now the Japans, the America, Progress and Red Pro, TNT, the huge ones to tick off. So if we thought the work was done, we haven't even just begun.
Just before we get, well, we've done that part. But as a promoter, is there anything that you learned, like the challenges that a promoter face that you didn't think of before starting off the company?
Getting people in cars so that so not that everyone rocks up on their own and wanting expenses, because obviously you got to try and shows. All right, we're talking like it could be a 50 people, it could be 100 people show, like crowd wise. So there's obviously only so much money to be made. So if everyone rocks up from bloody Portsmouth and there's a lot of people turning up from a lot of different places. It can cost a lot very quickly. So it's organising cars, people to get picked up from other people along the way. That's absolutely, you got to get the map out and you got to try and pinpoint where people can come from. It's a mind scrape. So I thankfully don't have to worry about that. I don't do that sort of side of it. That's not my job. But that is an absolute like normally I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just from here, cool. Drive, but then you think how many people, if everyone, you think what, 6 matches on the card, 2 people a card, and then you obviously got a tag match, so you're talking 14 odd people. If 14 people come from different areas, that's a lot of petrol money you've got to pay. So there's that, and then I'll go with that. I'll stay with that. Is the biggest thing.
Cool. Right, Tone, do you have another question, or are we ready to go for Beyond the Ring?
Just a quick question. How did you guys all come up with the name JPW?
We just like Jurassic Park, the movies, and we're like kids in the area. It's dinosaurs. We can put a bunch of blow up dinosaurs in the shows around as decoration. Jurassic Pro Wrestling, Jurassic Park, all works out nice and easy. Hopefully, we just don't get big enough that we get sued.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is not going to make it. Oh, you're Jurassic Pro Wrestling. So I'm following. I didn't realize. I'm reading JPW. I didn't realize it was Jurassic Pro. I was going to ask, what does it stand for? I've been following you for ages. Okay, wicked. Well done.
Well done. Come down to a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So funny. That's so funny.
That's hilarious, man. I mean, even I picked that up.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. Sorry, again, this part isn't making it. I'm following so many different promotions and different stuff, trying to catch each other. Ask him. Before, they were all saying to me, Ant, slow down. We can't keep going to shows. Now, the other day, he's going to me, right, when we're jumping on the train to go here, when we're going there. So, no, most definitely.
Honestly, we're going to make it down. Good to have you.
Oh, awesome.
That's
awesome.
So,
right.
Please keep that in. Oh,
yeah.
All right, cool. Just cut out the part where I said it won't be kept in, but yeah, screw it. Yeah. I did not know that JPW was Jurassic Pro. I've been following and I've seen all these awesome matches. Little did I know I'm talking to the bloody promoter. Awesome.
One of the
promoters. Well, look, all I know is that means it's just one less DM I've got to send later on. So
that
is awesome. Right,
That's
Corey. I don't know if you're ready for this, but this is what we call our favorite section. It's Beyond the Ring. This is a chance for people to get to know you a little bit more outside of the ring. So it's just a few quick fire questions. Just answer them as best as you can. Okay, Corey, please. I hope this doesn't throw you off. It threw CJ off like mad. Little showreel we created for you there. Match you're most proud to have competed in?
I'd say Speedball still. Yeah.
Honestly, that was a big way to start. What's your cheat meal?
Cheat meal, donuts. Krispy Kreme donuts. I'll sit there, a pack of 12 and eat them until I'm sick. I love sweets and donuts.
Bagging, love it. Yeah. Hobby outside of wrestling?
Making money. That was literally the first thing that come to my head. Literally, anything.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, mate, I'll run it. I do that. Then literally come flying out of my mouth.
Cool.
Make money.
Well, any way.
Anyway.
Brilliant. If you had to skip a day in the gym, which day would it be?
Oh, leg day. Not even a question. Leg day. Such one.
Dream match with an opponent who is no longer with us.
No longer with us.
That could be like retired or passed away.
I'll do prime John Cena. Thugonomics John Cena.
Mhm.
Nice.
All right. Your dream match with any current wrestler?
Osprey.
Osprey.
The best in the world.
That'd be banging.
Best in the
That
world.
would be banging.
Yeah.
Toughest opponent you faced?
Toughest opponent.
As in hardest hitting.
Hardest hitting, Speedball. But toughest
I
actual
can
like
imagine.
a brick wall is Shigeru. Absolute brick house. But yeah, hardest hitting, I've been whopped by a few people, but Speedball to this day still whooped my ass.
Who's the most gifted opponent you faced?
Me. Gifted opponent, Robbie X.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seen him a couple of times in the past few weeks. He is absolutely awesome. Most gifted. I know you're not a major wrestling fan, but we'll go for it. Most your wrestling idol growing up.
Wrestling or Suicide.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Suicide.
Your favorite match you watched growing up?
Shark Boy vs. Curry Man. They must have wrestled at some point.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
That's an awesome pick. That is an awesome pick. Okay, right, Corey. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
No, absolute pleasure. So, one last question I like to ask absolutely everybody is: if people are interested in following the Corey McCrae journey, how can they follow you on the socials?
They can follow me on Instagram at _Corey McCrae and Twitter at Corey McCrae 96. That's very handy that comes across the bottom. That's quality. I don't know if that comes up on the screen or not, but that just prompt up.
It does.
Yeah. Awesome.
And YouTube. We've got a YouTube page, so come if you fancy watching any more matches, like against Ridgeway, Tommy Kyle versus Luna, Adam Maxted, Jody Fleisch. It's all on my YouTube page, so come and have a watch.
That is awesome. And any like Jurassic Pro shows you want to plug? Any upcoming matches you want to plug? Go for it. The floor is yours.
Sweet. I'm in Germany on the 23rd of March, and then JPW we have RCWA on the 20th, and then Ignite on the 21st, and I'm pretty sure we've got a JPW one in April somewhere. But yeah, check out all those pages on social media. JPW, the dates will be on there.
Brilliant.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah,
and buy my merch.
Buy my merch.
Buy his merch. You heard it.
That's the one.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and you have actually saved me a job because I was going to be looking for JPW online, but it is in fact Jurassic Pro. So I'm holding it. I'm owning my mistakes, people. I'm owning my mistakes. I do my research, but I've not done all my research. That's the one. But ladies and gentlemen, right now I just have to say it one more time. A very big thank you to the Godfighter himself, Corey McCrae. Absolutely awesome talent. Great promoter from what I've seen as well. And as you can see by this interview, a gem of a man, even though he plays one dastardly heel. So until the next time, I am the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
And I'm BigTone at the Zone. Special thanks, Corey, man.